Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be taking a first look at Battleship Command. This is a game which puts you in the shoes of the captain of the Scharnhorst battle cruiser, I guess, during World War II, and is published, I believe, by Microprose. This is a new game which comes out on June 2nd, so if you're watching this live tomorrow, and obviously if you're watching this on YouTube, as it posts, then the day of, so today, we're going to take a first look at this, and it's going to be kind of chill. I've played through a little bit of the tutorial, but I think honestly, just in the sake of this stream, we'll start by going through some of the tutorial stuff, and then we'll jump into some of the missions as time permits. But I hope everybody's doing great. We're going to go ahead and jump in here and get going here. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now, the game will have a patrol mode, which you see up here, free hunting game mode, where you can travel to desired hunting grounds and search for prey. They are working on damage control, more ships, save load feature, and updates to the Scharnhorst model. So this game will be launching into early access. I'm personally excited about the prospect of a campaign mode for a game like this. It looks really intriguing, and I think it could be a lot of fun. But we're going to play around with what we've got today. And that's going to be either quick missions or quick scenarios or missions. There's also a mission editor, but we're going to go ahead and what's actually profiles do here? Can I like do anything with this? Ah, cool. So it actually keeps track of all of your stats, main gun shells. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. All right, let's go to the missions here. You can see there are a number of missions. Actually, they just dropped, I believe, the Battle of the North Cape today, the day before release. So for folks who have access to this list has been growing, and this is all like pre-release, so exciting to see. They're obviously doing a lot of work, but we've got sort of 3 tutorial missions: maneuvers, gunnery orders, and fire director station. I think it makes sense. I don't usually play a ton of tutorial stuff on the channel. I usually do that sort of offline and then kind of show you my perspective of like how the game works live. But I do think this is relatively quick because of the way time compression works, and gives you a good sense of like how to play the game or how the game can be played, while also allowing you to kind of take a look around the ship and do some walking around the decks and seeing how you feel about the game as well. But right now, here are 3 tutorial missions, and you've got Operation Nordmark, Renown at Lofton, the Wolf. So I believe is this like the supply ship? Glorious Victory, Convoy Ambush. So like you've got the Operation Juno, the Hipper, has recently been dispatched from Trondheim, the Scharnhorst and Eisenhower, steam north, searching for merchant ships. Battle of the North Cape, which I believe historically is where Scharnhorst was sunk. Caught in the Net, which is, you know, a force consisting of Bismarck, Tirpitz, Scharnhorst, and Prince Eugen, is attempting to break out into the North Atlantic convoy hunt. Like, some, obviously, that never happened, but, you know, that's pretty cool to have, like, all these different ships potentially be something you can play around with. So, interesting game. I want to go ahead and start the maneuvers, and the main reason I'm doing this particular tutorial mission, because it's relatively simple, is just to give you kind of an option to walk around the deck and look at the ship and kind of see what's all there to be seen. So you can see this is kind of like Silent Hunter 3 vibes here, where you've got your crew members who are at their stations and you've got your 3 ship. The difference is you can walk around this ship, and you can actually kind of walk around a lot of places. But you can see down here, we're on the Scharnhorst. You've got our turrets in the front. You've got obviously what we can see here. So pretty cool. You know, obviously it's not, I wouldn't call it photorealistic graphics, but they're good for what it is. So we need to reach the escorts. It wants me to make 21 knots. So if I go down here and click on the speed icon down here, or actually, sorry, 23 knots. So all ahead full. Kind of, again, fitting with that Silent Hunter aesthetic. Takes a little bit of time, obviously, to get a 30,000 ton battleship moving. You've got, I don't know exactly what this particular, is this like the command bridge? I don't know if I can view the periscope. I don't think I can here. But you can see here, obviously we've got all these crew members doing different crew member-y things. We've got a plot here of our position. And you can walk around, you know, we're on the other side of the ship now here. We've got the ship we're trying to catch up to up front. I know the torpedo station like isn't really in the game yet, but there's different stations you'll be able to chill on. So this station's not available. Gunnery station here, we can like view things from the turret or the direction, I don't know, whatever the fire control location. You've got like a little model here which kind of shows your ship. I think it also like opens up and shows damage of different sections of the ship as you take damage. I'd like a little tooltip here to tell me what some of these different stations are, but is this like a world view? Okay, I haven't clicked on this before. You've got the Arado, or however you pronounce that float plane. You can, I believe, launch that to help spot and things like that, but nice big ship starting to get underway here. So, got a map mode. Again, real strong Silent Hunter vibes. This is a radar mode, I believe. I was watching Wolfpack play with this before. I don't think it's like fully implemented or anything like that, but hello. Just kind of looking around here. You can like see, oh look, the green stuff is starting to appear. Turn the brightness up or down. Ah! Everything's so green, the contrast. Yeah, I'm just like washing it out. There's our radar beacon here. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's not really the mission for this tutorial here. It'd be cool if I could go, not all the parts of the ship are open to you, so you can go, like, you can walk around kind of a lot of the ship here. So we can go, like, up a pretty good ways. Should I go up more? I think that, is this like the, I don't know what part of this, the bridge is, but we're like further higher up on the ship here. Navigation tools here. You can see the destroyer straight ahead of us that we're starting to catch up to. Go back down. But we could go back and, you know, as much as we can, you can definitely work your way back on the ship toward the rear turrets. You can work your way toward the forward turrets. It takes a little bit of time to get fore and aft, so rather than belabor the point and do that, I'm just going to go back to where really I should be, and then we'll hit the time compression to speed this up, because there's not a ton to do in this particular tutorial mission. It's pretty short, but just kind of showing you, you can definitely, you know, navigate across the, is this a range finder? You can definitely navigate across the ship, see what's all out there. Hello. What do we see? Actually, I kind of like that elevated position from a management point of view of being able to tell where the ship is going and what you're all doing here. One of the things is like in here it really kind of feels not just claustrophobic, but also just like I can't really see much in here in terms of where I'm going. You know, it's kind of closed off a little bit. But hey, at least we're protected by some iron plate, right? These little wing vantage points out on the side are kind of neat, especially when the turrets are turned and firing. I would imagine it would be a miserable experience. But all right, so we've caught up to the escort. Now it's going to have me like do stuff. So let's open the rudder control and turn our ship to follow the escort. So we can use this little button down here to control the rudder. We can use our direction arrows here to cause the ship to turn. You can see we're slowly going to swing over a little bit like Titanic, you know, just turn, avoid the iceberg. Your escort has ordered full speed ahead. Use your engine order to match speed. So you may also need to adjust your own speed to maintain a safe distance. But I can turn more rapidly or more slowly here. So I can use the WASD to move across the actual, like move my character player across the ship, and then I can use the direction arrows when I've got this need to steer the ship. So she doesn't exactly handle like a, you know, I don't know, a precise Swiss watch or anything like that, but not that anyone's probably ever used the Swiss watch analogy for how well something handles. What handles well? I don't know. We could run up on her if we wanted to go up to flank, but I'm not in the mood to ram her right now. Okay. Rudder amidships. I can use the 0 key to do that too. I think we can compress time here a little bit. We've got down here, you got the, you see the plot ×1, ×2. Okay. So it's going to take 3 hours to leave the Ford, so it wants me to mess around with time compression just like I was just doing. It doesn't seem like we're gaining on the ship, so it seems like just the standard ahead full speed is the right speed. Now you also aren't going to have to do quite all of this, you know, oh, I'm going to manually move the rudder and things like that, or I'm going to manually aim the turrets. That was one of the things when I was watching Wolf the other day, and he was showing how the turrets work and how you shoot and whatnot. And a lot of you, I'm sure, are going to want to do that, or we're going to want to actually manage the turrets, but you can. It's as simple as, hey, select the target, issue the command, and then the crew will fight the ship for you too. You know, keeping in mind that you are a skipper, and a skipper on a sub, I think, does a lot more fire control work, perhaps, than a skipper on a battleship. They're different orders of magnitude for the amount of micromanaging that you want to do. But you can see here, and then I think it'll bring me into the map mode here in a sec. Once we're past this initial waypoint. The most you can do when you're in 3D is ×32, but there is more time compression options. Are we getting left behind a bit here? Let's speed up a bit. This destroyer seems like it's getting out ahead of me a bit. We're listening to some classical music, I suppose. Why is it getting smaller? I guess we're gonna go 26 knots. I guess that would be, it would be faster for a destroyer at all ahead full than a battleship probably, but okay. I think it's gonna kick me into the next. Am I too close to a shore? If you get too close to the shore, it slows you down. We've lost sight of what? Okay. Oh yeah, definitely closing on the destroyer now. Slow down a bit. Okay, waypoint 1 reached. And now it's going to bring me into the map. So there's this little map icon down here. We showed it earlier. Now you can just navigate as you would in a traditional game like this. Oops. So go ahead and select our ship. That's us. And then we can go ahead and left ship, shift, and give us some waypoints. I want to stay a little bit away from the land. If we're too close to the land, it interrupts your fast travel. So these are just arrows. When I was playing this the other day, I thought they were minefields because they were like circles, but it looks like they resolved that. Okay, so when we're on this, the crew will take care of the base responsibilities, and I can just go ahead and fast forward here. You can see the blue icon is the ship that we're following, which again, we slowed down a little bit, so I think we'll be okay there. I don't think we'll overrun them. But we can see here we get quite a bit of time compression here. Again, if you get too close to... Oh, shit. Why did I not follow that? What just happened? Guys, what are you doing? I don't know if we have enough room to turn around here. I suppose we could go all the back emergency or something, but... There you go. The game showed us how, hey, when you get too close to shore, time compression gets crushed, and then you will not, hopefully run aground unless you ignore it. The only ship you want in the game is the hood? You want to be on the hood? Like when it gets blown up? By the way, the M key also brings you to the map. Okay, so we got out of there without running aground. Good news for us. Okay. So hopefully it sticks to the course this time. There we go. Ship spotted, sir. Alright, there we go. We'll be in there. Mission accomplished. Alright, so that's the that's it for the movement tutorial. So you can kind of get a vibe for how it actually works. So you can go into the missions here. Now we can do the gunnery orders here. So again, I was watching Wolfpack the other day, and he was doing a lot of the, you know, the good stuff that he does, where it's like, hey, if you want to actually know how to manage a ship, this tutorial is a little bit less of that, and it's more, hey, let's actually just show you how to tell your guys to shoot at people. I'm not gonna have to go in and do the actual, you know, managing the rangefinder or anything like that in this particular fight. But we will get to watch the guns go boom. So I like these little... Were these like real things on the ship? It's just like an overhang over the side of the ship. And who would go out this way? It's a handy little section of the ship if it's real. Alright, binoculars. Where... Which button were you again? Here you go. Alright, so you can see, click on the binoculars and you've got a fleet option, you've got ship spotted option. There's 2 British merchant ships, Anton 1 and Bertha 2. We go ahead and select Bertha 2, give it a main target. And you can see these turrets will begin to turn. Bertha 2 is over this away. And, you know, if you just want a cool game that lets you watch big guns fire, it's always fun to watch the guns move up and down a little bit between salvos and whatnot. We've got the rear turret just went into action, I assume. Yep. Smoke is also a legit thing to consider, right? So like if I'm trying to actually see what is out there, the smoke will get in the way. And that's really good. Like that's super authentic. You know, I think one of the most striking things reading more about World War I, because I've read a little bit more about that naval combat, is like this notion of, hey, I'm trying to spot where my shells are firing and I can't see shit. Right? So like if I put my binos on, you have to remember how to actually pull my binoculars up, because it's not that. No, it's just zoom. You just scroll wheel. I guess actually from here, because we're firing off the broadside, we've got a pretty good view, but when we shoot at the ship ahead of us, it'll be more of a challenge. Well, I mean, even there, you can see the smoke obscures the fall of the shot here. It just drifts in front of us as we're sailing through the smoke, the pall of smoke. Oh man. That got real nasty. So I can look at the guns just fine, but... And so, you know, it clears my point of view here. And then I can go ahead and see the shots fall now, but it will drift in front of there. So again, depending on if you're trying to see the shots, the actual the fall of the shot there, I think it's because my turrets are firing out of sequence. It does hinder my ability to do that. Now, if we were in the fire control, you know, section here, we can use the this is, I assume, like a turret above. Like at a higher elevation, so you got a better view of things. Can I turn the magnification up? Why is the rangefinder off? Shouldn't it be on? I don't know if that affects how the actual AI shoots, if I've got to like flip these switches here, but I obviously have a little bit better of a view here of the shells falling, and I'm assuming that's because this is more on a raised platform, whereas like I was kind of just one level up on the deck. You can see these shells fall. It does take a surprisingly large amount of shells in this tutorial to sink these enemy ships. So yeah, I would think an 11-inch shell, I guess maybe are you shooting HE? I hope you were shooting HE and not AP. Because the AP would be horribly ineffective. But I assume this is the main... Like right here. Here's the main guns. The main... I don't know, viewfinder. Alright, so we sank the first target. You can see the different indicator lights here for the different turrets. We'll go ahead and pull this up. It wants me to use an auxiliary, so secondary shots on the other ships, which we may want to consider moving our broadside here, because you can see the secondary turrets now firing. These are like twin barreled things here, I think are anti-aircraft, which I don't believe that is. Well, I know I saw Wolf firing them, so they're in the game to some extent, but we've got the twin turreted secondaries as well, so you can see those shells falling. But then if I don't want to wait for the secondaries, I can also just say like, hey, that's your main target, and then I get to watch these turrets swivel over and fire. And actually, if we wanted to, we can go down on the deck. Probably wouldn't be a very pleasant experience, but I don't really have to fight the ship in this particular scenario. You know, it's pretty chill. It's just a tutorial of like, how do you actually order your crew to do things, which we have now done. So if I just want to be, you know, an enthusiastic captain, I can come down here and I can look at these turrets here kind of from the ground level. Again, these turrets here are anti-aircraft, I believe, but here's one of our secondaries firing off at this target. You can see even less down here. It's a good thing we're not, you know, issuing orders on what we're hitting here. Here's another secondary turret. These things just put into scale too, how freaking big they are. Every single, like, these are the secondary guns and they're just gigantic. We can kind of go down here and view it from this vantage point. Whoa. Can view the lovely ship from a whole different angle. Get some nice cinematic shots of our warship. It'll continue fighting without me. If you wanted to watch the gunfire from down here, we could, although it looks like we just sank the ship. So there you go, tutorial number 2. So I can go ahead and end this. Get back in here. You can see we sank both enemy targets. And now if we go to the profile, as we said earlier, it added more main gun shell, you know, fired to my stats here. We fired 273 main gun rounds, 75 shells hit. 199 secondaries fired, 14 hit, 4 merchant ships sunk, 5 single missions started. Played 5 hours in the game. I don't know what rewards are. Coming soon, I guess. Customization for our profile coming soon. Okay, so let's go to the fire director station here and it'll tell us how to do the stuff. This is the, you know, the more like, hey, if you're actually gonna want to micro this in a, you know, probably the way most people want to play. Can I get killed if the ship sinks? I don't think it's like an RPG in that sense, but... Alright, today you will learn how to fire the guns from the fire director station. It will require you to gather data about your targets and input it correctly into the fire control computer. Let's get started. Alright, you tell me what you want me to do here, sir. The crew sighted our practice target to our port left side. Let's enter the fire director station by clicking the fire director button. Alright, we're in the fire director station now. You can fire the main guns and secondary guns. On the right side, you find the panel for the main guns and the lower right corner panel for the secondaries. Panel on the left side is the fire control computer. So right side, main guns up here, secondaries, and then the fire director computer, which again looks like every sub-sim, almost. 4 steps to perform to hit your target. Aim at the target, input the bearing, input the range to the target, input the target's heading, and input the target's speed. This is where math is not my friend and why I've never been a good sub-sim player, is because I don't want to do math, because I'm not good at it. Alright, learn about each type of target data by clicking the question icons. To fire at a moving ship many kilometers away from a ship that is also moving, pitching, and rolling, and this is one of the things that, like, I think it was Kaigen I was reading, I was like, wow, this is hard. Like, as it talks about, like, how you aim at a moving ship. Okay. Take a minute for the shells to reach 20 kilometers away. Or maybe it was, not Jutland, but, or not, maybe it was Castles of Steel, I'm not sure. Okay. Yep, those are the fire buttons. One for each turret. Okay. Can I actually see the target here? Didn't it say it was like at 81 degrees or something? Oh, there we go. Okay, so I can look at the target here through the rangefinder. It does seem to like adjust based on where the crosshairs are pointed. It's telling me if I've got a good bearing or not. Range. I can also set the range. Is there a way to lock onto the target? Oh yeah, just click on it. Cool. So it'll follow. I've got a good sort of crosshair view on this. That means we've got a good bearing on the target. Range is much too short. I can turn the rangefinder on. What's this? Okay. So, talking about rangefinders. The double views need to overlap. Okay. Adjusted as the W or the S key. Okay, so we've got the shadow over here. So I can adjust the range up by using the W key to move it up. And now the shadows perfectly overlap. I think the shadow is like, it has to do with the way the lenses work on the rangefinder. It's kind of talking about that in the little chapter there. So range is now on target. Heading is far off. So it's saying it's 4,900 yards, I guess, or meters. Target's heading has to be adjusted as well. Use your A or D keys to adjust the speed of the adjustment. Or the adjustment of the heading. Okay. So we got the little wheels here on the corner that talk to you about heading. In the scope, you see the target's port side and the ship is moving slightly away. Target's traveling toward your view, but slightly angled, revealing its port side. So is good just good? I don't need to do anything else. And then for speed, to get the target speed, you can open the ship's sighting panel and select your target to see what the crew's estimated. The crew will improve the precision of the estimate the longer the time they track the target. So they're kind of doing some of the sub-sim stuff for you. They're observing the target for you, which on a big ship like this makes sense. So the ship sighting panel's down here, by the way. To adjust the speed, use the left mouse button on the knob. So down here. Okay. So I don't see an estimate here. 5 to 10 knots? Okay. I'm gonna guess this target information won't be in the game when I'm actually fighting real targets. Looks like we got I turned my, is that what I turned on up there? Is that the radar? No. Okay. So I suppose now we can just open fire? I don't want to use AP. Use HE to unload those shells and load them back up. So I would not want to use AP on any of these targets. They're just merchant ships. Enable the missiles. Fire control, main. Turrets are loading up. You can see the guns trained, loaded for turret A. Turret B is loaded but not trained. There's a I don't know why it's... You can switch the different fire director sections. Do I need to adjust my ship's heading? Enable toggle? Oh, why did that go off? When did that switch? Okay. Turret B is ready. On the way! Slightly far, so shorten the range a bit. You can kind of like walk it onto the target, I guess. God damn it, it's still slightly far. We're gonna turn the ship a little bit. I'm gonna have to adjust my fire control obviously here as we turn the ship. But right now I think I'd like to get more of my guns in action here, so let's adjust the heading a little bit. I suppose with the way the rangefinder works is it should just auto adjust to your ship changing heading. You can see as we're turning from starboard to port, everything still says on target and still says good. We are turning. It's everything, I guess we'll shorten up the range a little bit, but everything appears to be good. Boom! We got a hit there. Looked like it was right on the bridge on the front of the ship. I saw an explosion. I'm waiting until we get like a true broadside over here. Maybe we open up the secondaries as well? Alright, we've got the turret A and B are both... Well, they were both on target. Or did I get my rudder amidship? Yep, swinging over amidship. Turret C, A, B, and C are all ready. Is there a way to fire them all at once? I don't know what I just did, if those were secondaries I just salvoed. There's got to be a salvo button for the whole ship, I would think. Whatever. Boom! Right amidships. Whoa! Multiple good explosions and good hits there. Gonna be just a sub-sim on top of the water? I don't know. Nice little fire there. On target. Good. Go. Oh, boom. Most of those actually shot a little long. I did get one hit. I wonder if you want this little marker here is indicating the, I believe, where the target is. This feels like a radar. Makes me wonder if you want it more toward the center, even if it's like technically good or whatever. Does where that fall, even if all this stuff says good, matter? And it certainly seems to, because wow, were those shells all landing where we'd like. Speed's coming down a bit. I'm not sure if she's like dead in the water or what. I don't think we need to do times 36, times 12 seems good. Yeah, she is. I think she's a goner, boys. That was a lot of explosions. Secondaries fire. Good explosions there, too. I think that was the secondaries. Okay. Well, we're firing HE. Not AP, so... In any event, we succeeded in sinking the enemy ship. Good job, boys. It wasn't the prettiest job, but I figured rudimentary how this works. So, that's the end of that mission. Should we go fight like an actual battle? Perhaps? 45 main gun shells fired. 27 hits. That seems ridiculously good, even against a merchant ship for this era of naval gunnery. Okay, so we now can move into the actual missions. There's Operation Nordmark. Command your task force to the North Sea and engage merchant shipping between Great Britain and Norway. Reconnaissance shows a good patrol area to start searching for merchants. It's marked patrol area on your map. Sink 20,000 tons of shipping and return back to Wilhelmshaven. We could do that. We could go all the way down to the Battle of the North Cape, which I believe is the fateful doom of Scharnhorst. Sink the Prince of Wales. Good luck with that. The German task force is ordered not to engage British battleships with heavy guns, but the commander of the Scharnhorst is confident that the total of 5 28-centimeter guns in the element of surprise will be able to deal with any lone Royal Navy battleship. Hence, he decides to ignore the order. Sink the battleship and return to Bergen. Good luck, man. Like, Prince of Wales didn't do so good versus the Bismarck because she was fitting out. But that thing had what? Didn't it have like 10, 15-inch guns? Also, 15... I don't have 15 28-centimeter guns, do I? Scharnhorst has... Doesn't it have 9? Do I have another ship with us? I guess that's just the task force. Anyway, let's start with Operation Nordmark. See what we got going here. Yes. Battleship Command. Alright, so we got torpedo boats with us. I was like, why does it look like it's loading? No, it's not. It's just this is the horizon because it's early morning or night. Early morning, it's 7 o'clock. God. If the Navy ever wanted to, like, get someone to enlist, just give them postcards of the ocean at dawn. Just the silhouettes and the shadows. It's also gorgeous. Alright. Map, sir. Patrol areas up north. Our ship is here. We've got... How many other ships do we have with us? I would think we know what they are. Our fleet consists of the Prince Eugen cruiser and 3 torpedo boats. Okay. Status report. Current visibility is 20 kilometers, sir. That's it. That's all I got. Okay. Oh. Get a rating. Status report, sir. Max speed 34 knots. Okay. Chat content? Does that mean you could, like, event? I wonder if they'll have a multiplayer eventually. That would be cool. Okay. So I suppose, do they just automatically follow me? There was no tutorial on fleet orders. Oh, I can just say stay in formation. Wait, how is that a Scharnhorst-class? Well, where's Prince Eugen? Which one's that? Does that mean we have 2 Scharnhorst-classes? Or is that like a central... Well, now I gotta go run out there and see, but I also don't I can't see much at this time of day. So, oh, are we with Gneisenau? Maybe that was in the briefing and I didn't read it. Because Gneisenau is our sister ship. So it looks like maybe we've got 3 big ships in this formation here. It definitely looks like 3 big ships based on these silhouettes. Got the lovely red lights of nighttime. Alright. I guess we'll just speed things along then as we head toward the patrol area. Not much else to do, I don't think, right now. So the task force is moving. We'll see more in daylight. 60 knots seems like a decent speed to move. But yeah, anyway, so what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by myself, the Scharnhorst and Gneisenau had 9 11-inch guns. My understanding is their design assumed or allowed for the fact that they could swap those guns out, like the turret was designed so that you could remove the 3 11-inch guns from each turret and replace them with twin 15-inch guns. I think I read that somewhere. They never did that, obviously. But I think it was like, well, this is what we have available, and also, like, these things were designed before we decided to, like, blatantly, not just, like, pocket battleship ignore the capital ship restrictions, but, like, legit, we're not even gonna try. But in a sense, you know, the 11-inch guns with the speed of the Scharnhorst, great commerce raiders in an era where air power wasn't as devastating and effective as it was in World War II. And even so, they, you know, they had careers. Maybe not the biggest impact, I'm sure, of what their designers envisioned, but they'll always have the channel dash. But I'm assuming when it says it spotted the Scharnhorst, it just means it spotted the Gneisenau, but we're the same class of ship. Oh. Something's over this way. Turn the task force. New radio message received. We have spotted a contact attempting to identify. Good job, torpedo boat. Can you see anything? No. I've already ordered the ship to change its course. Look at that. Look at these boys. Look at the wake behind us and then the big ships. Why can't I binocular behind me? That's strange. I can binocular this way. But I can't binocular behind me? God, there's something fucking sexy about battleships maneuvering in formation. They just look so cool. Can I look? No, I can't zoom in any more than that. Okay, well. Alright, more radio messages. What's coming in now? More contacts identified? Damn it, tell me what's out there! Oh, Scharnhorst is engaging a destroyer. Okay. Where? Ship spotted at 2 degrees to port. Okay. Can't see shit. It's all hazy. So can't see shit. I see a little bit of smoke out here. Prince Eugen is also engaging a destroyer. How do you guys see through this haze? I think it takes a second for the radar to warm up. The other ships are set to fire well. I don't care. They can shoot at what they want to shoot at. I can see the smoke, I think, from the enemy ship, but I can't actually see the enemy ship. They're all off here bearing just off our bow. I kind of faintly see its outline here. I don't know how on earth I would actually spot and shoot, though. I suppose we could just issue the orders. So these guys are merchants. Wilhelm 23 is a destroyer. I can just issue the orders for the crew to do the work. And they'll just shoot at them. It's a lot of smoke, though. Sorry guys, I'm just too bad of a captain to know. I can't be working the... You know, I can't be working the rangefinder. I'm sure we're not going to be shooting accurately from out here. Ooh, smoke is like flowing right over the ship. We've definitely got multiple targets out there. They're just all... Oh god, was that a hit or were we shooting? We're shooting. Wouldn't be a pleasant day to be out on the bridge as these guns are firing, I don't think. I love watching the turrets move. So do they have to... Is that a thing on all ships where they have to drop the barrel down to reload it? Cool if I could go further up. I'm not going to bring all guns to bear quite yet. I'd like to close the distance a bit. Seems like we're still a little bit too far out. I don't know. I suspect that... Oh no, fouling is here. Look at this. You got fouling and barrel whirl, all things we have to worry about for the turret and the barrels. That's freaking cool. Is main turret A the only one that's firing? No, turret B is too. Doesn't appear there's any damage to the ship. Flooding. Fires. Propulsion looks good. This is like an icon that my frickin' car has when it tells me what the battery recharging is happening, I guess. Fuel oil total. Ship listed angles. We're good. Ship's good. Can I get back to the deck, boys? Or the bridge? I'm sure someone is like, where's the captain? I just needed to get out of this foul air, that's all. That's the wrong door, that's why. I don't even know what button I'm supposed to press to get in here. There we go. Alright, I can't see shit still, guys. What's going on? Got a wild radar picture up here. Well, I can see something now. Hold your fire. Captain's taking control. It's very hazy, but... Okay, so I think the spike is more like when you're actually... You've got her lined up well. So in poor visibility conditions, I definitely trust my crew to be better at shooting than I am. Part of the problem is I just can't see. Which, like, begs the question when you're talking World War II gunnery. Is kind of remarkable in the pre-radar era, really. I know I've got a radar scope here, but... That destroyer is getting bracketed hardcore, though. Prayage. How far away are we still, though? That's the other question. We're still a ways away. You can barely see the silhouette of my binoculars over here. Is it just the one enemy warship that we've spotted? There's Wilhelm 23 and there's Anton 1. What do we know about them? One just says warship, range over 10 kilometers. Well, no, actually one's a cruiser? We should be engaging the cruiser. It's just like choir music, boys. No indication of damage taken yet. Maybe, maybe not. If they don't know we're out, a heavy cruiser's probably about right. I know after, I think it was after Gneisenau got out, one of the first times the British like redid all their convoys, and like no convoy that didn't at least have a battleship escort would sail. But that was like a special thing for the fact that they were out. Yeah, she's on fire. I don't know how much longer she'll stay afloat under this rain of shells. When I step away from the rangefinder, I get a better view of the silhouette than when I'm close in. We got a merchant ship sliding into the picture here. Keep those shells going. Pardon, boys. We could speed up a little bit, but actually, while we wait for this ship to be sunk, this would not be a good day to be on this destroyer. It's got to be about to sink, but I am going to grab a drink. I'll be right back. When are they gonna sink? You bought Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought on Steam? Is it on sale now? Another merchant ship sliding in front of the target picture. How much ammo am I burning through? I wonder how much of it is secondary shells. I mean, I guess we are at kind of a longer range, but... Guys, it seems like a lot of ammo to spend on a destroyer, I'm just saying. Did we just hit that merchant ship there? They're like both in the picture. These totals don't seem like they're ticking down much. Oh, it's because we're using AP. No wonder we're not hitting shit. Oh, it says we're using HE. But oh, it looks like it's ticking down for AP. Is that a cruiser? Did we sink the... Oh yeah, we sank it. Okay. So, switch your fire, I guess. To Wilhelm 23. You can see the AI automatically resolving the picture there. A cruiser. I go out on the deck. Can I see it? I can. She's not even that far off. Interesting. When I click on the actual torpedo boat, I can see who they're shooting at on this, like, binocular view. What are the other options out here? Engage target, follow waypoint, rejoin formation. Torpedo attack! Yes, sir. Engaging cruiser with auxiliary fire control. I just want you to launch a torpedo, dude. Yes, there are torpedoes. I don't know if they're fully modeled. I don't think... I mean, our ship has torpedoes too, but again, I don't... The station isn't available for us yet. Hold your fire. Do we have an estimate on the speed? 5 to 10 knots, that's it. HMS Kent? What class is the Kent? Let's see how accurate my shots were. It's not actually bad. Well, I just effed everything up. The first shot was good, and I'm like... Yeah, okay. The range is off there. Bring those ships in alignment. Where are these targets gonna land? I should probably also fire AP, right? Alright, we got the line right in the middle here, kind of. Those are pretty on target shots. They're not hitting, but they're close. Oh, that was a hit. I don't know if that was me. I think we got them a little slow. Alright, let's see where these shells land. Is she turning? Is she trying to avoid torpedoes? I know we had the destroyer launch a torpedo strike. I want to claim credit for whatever that explosion was. I didn't see a whole bunch of other shells hit, though. Let's switch these guys to AP. They're making torpedo runs, which is presumably why it would be changing course. Okay. Can't see through the smoke. A little bit long. I think that salvo hit real well. I think that was my salvo. Pretty sure the range is on. Was that a torpedo hit? Something blew up on the back there, by the looks of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I just got a good broadside hit there. We're firing AP now. No, those are definitely hits, and they seem to be lining up roughly with my shooting. So I'm hitting the target now, boys! And also missing, but you know, such is life. When she turned her broadside on, it made it a lot easier to estimate. Not to get cocky. Ooh, nice explosion up on the front. Some real hits here. I wonder if you can get critical. Whoa. The other ships in the task force are definitely hitting her good too. I wonder if you can get critical explosions like, you know, magazine detonations and things like that. She is definitely sinking. Yeah, I'm... Alright, there she goes. She's going under. Alright, boys. Can you engage separate targets with secondaries and primary? Oh, we got somebody off on the... What's the right side of the ship called? Port starboard. I always get that confused. Alright, switching sides. We're gonna watch our big turrets fire off to the right. Second salvo is always long. Torpedo attacks, boys. All my destroyers, go make torpedo runs. You can shoot at whoever, but I want you guys to go make torpedo runs. There's our pretty boys in the back there, firing off their broadsides. Half of this game is just me wanting to watch what's happening. It is pretty cool to just be able to... Hey, we sank 20,000 tons of enemy shipping. But we're not done yet, boys. At least you better not be done. Keep shooting. No one said to stop shooting. What, you think just because we wanna Marginal victory. We're gonna stop. Gotta get down to the deck. I would imagine in an engagement like this, almost the entire crew is below decks, I would think. No one is walking underneath 11-inch turrets as they're firing. Why are we not shooting, boys? Oh, they're all gone? Did they just vanish, or did we actually sink them? Well, that's unfortunate. I was gonna turn myself into chum. For some reason, there's no railing at the very back of the ship. Oh. Whoa, I kind of get like motion sickness a little bit looking back here. All right, well, I guess if all the ships vanished. You feel like my role is superfluous as a captain? I mean, maybe. Okay, so we fired 387 main gun hit, only 33 hit, which actually feels more historically accurate. Oh, I didn't return to Wilhelmshaven. No! I forgot that was part of our mission orders. Oh well. Secondary gun fired 132 times, only 4 hits. And remember, most of that shooting was not my direction. One warship sunk, 2 merchants. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for today's episode of Battleship Command, a new game published by Microprose, which just entered early access today. This was taken from a live stream last night, although somewhat edited around a bit. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.